Hey, what's going on, y'all? The biggest lesson that you can learn in your 20s, one out of many, is try anything currently possible. Because if you don't try anything currently possible in your 20s, you may regret for the rest of your life. And that means, I don't know if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to try to get a good job and get good benefits and go on from there. The one thing that I've learned through I myself hanged out with the elderly and older than me of my generation of, I don't care if it's my parents, friends, anyone that I've learned since I was younger is jobs are great, but in my opinion, what I've learned, they're always temporary. And I don't want to hang over my shoulders. That's why even though I still have a job and I'm working on my music right now, for example, until the music makes money on it, I'm sticking with the job. But what I'm trying to get at is a job's good for to pay on some people what they want to do. And what I'm trying to get at is there's a million things you can do, especially with online these days, and how you can make money. If you want to stick with the job, great. You better have a side hustle to pay how much money you make, because I hope it doesn't kick you in the rear in the future with what side hustles and what you'll have to do with eBay selling, Facebook selling, and what you have to do. And what I mean by that is if you go to college, to pay how much debt you go into for college wise, it can be insane. And when you pay that off, 50, 60, 70, with how much people in this generation that have college debt blows my mind. I tried doing college a little bit, and it wasn't for me. I'm not gonna mention the other stuff for that unless you want to comment below, make another video about that. Reasons why I did college and some other reasons why I did college, why I went into it. But anyways, there's plenty of things you have to try in your 20s, and don't get me wrong, your 20s are gonna suck so bad. The only thing I can ask is from anyone out there to stick with it. Work out, stretch, and be disciplined and grind through anything possible. The only thing you can do is grind your 20s. One thing I'll admit all day is some ways I was a bit lazy when I was younger in certain areas that I regret. I could have been a little further. I could have been a little bit further than where I am now. But you know what? I know certain things. I had to help family with certain things, and even though I think I was lazy in the past, all you can think about is, you know what? Today is now. Who cares what I did in the past? Today is currently now what I can do today, and no looking back. I don't care what anyone else thinks of me. Only thing you can do, and what I can do as a human, is put today first and then keep on going for the current 20s. And don't get me wrong, like I said, it's gonna be horrible because depending on the job, depending on your career, what you want to do, if you want to get a high-paying job, depending on what you want to do, it's not gonna be easy by any stretch. And if anyone says as soon as they get out of high school, depending on the age, is like 17, 18 most days, or depending if you're a dropout, that's on you. If you do drop out, I hope you can find a decision sales, depending on what you want to do. But if you do graduate like most, depending on what you want to do, the only thing I can say is keep on grinding and be disciplined with everything that you do. Because it is not easy out there in your 20s for sure. Especially when you move out, if you're with somebody or not. If you're not with somebody, the bills can be insane depending on if you don't have extra money in the budget to help out because jobs, if you get let go, if you get fired, it's just not worth it this day and age depending on what you want to do. And what I mean by that is, I hope you have some cushion, some money in the bank, because if you don't want to screw yourself over in the long run. The only thing you can do is have a budget and keep on going. Budget properly, depending on where you want to spend your money, and keep on going. Because if you don't budget properly, it can really screw you over in the future. And what exactly do I mean by that is, you don't want to screw yourself over so then you're paying yourself off, and then you get to 70, 80 years old. Anyway, if you get 70, 80 years old, I regret doing this, I regret doing that. You don't want to do that. You want to try anything currently possible in your 20s and keep on going. Like I mentioned, if you want to go into college, get a career, depending on engineering. If you want to go into construction, there's so many things. Trades, if you want to trade, I think that's, if anyone go into school, if you're good memorization and if you're really fast paced and you know what you're doing at a certain pace, I would consider anyone to trades, career construction, depending on heating, cooling, plumbing, electrician, anything in that. If you're really good at math, anything with math, depending on anywhere around that, if you're good with the trades, I recommend that to anyone because I think that's going to be the future $1 million business in the future. Because most people this generation, let's be honest, most trades jobs, if you had a trade job or what in that, there's no one to really find anyone to even do that business anymore. If anything I can recommend for a job or anything like that is maybe go into that. But anyways, the only thing you can do is keep trying your hardest. People are going to push you, especially your family, depending on what they want to do, because certain people around you, you gotta be careful for. Even in your early 20s to anywhere in your 20s. If it was my opinion, anyone that smokes heavily, I don't care what they smoke or drink, I'll avoid it at all cost. I'm not even afraid to admit this, that I currently really have no friends I'm close to. I have a few cousins, but I am honestly happy that I really don't have any friends that I don't really talk to here and there. Cousins that I've been close to in the past, but on my end, if you have friends and you know they're bad for you may not think they're bad for you, but if you can see it, depending on what you're doing, you hang out with them, spending stupid money, going to bars, whatever. And don't get me wrong, bars isn't bad for business, depending on what you want to do. But you gotta watch the people that you're surrounding with, because that can be screwy in the long run. Depending on what you want to do. Do you want to invest in the drinking, that basically drinking the poison, because drinking is just a myth. Anyone will admit drinking is basically poison and going in your system. If I even drink it, have a drink, depending on where I'm socializing or anything like that, I almost always work out after I drink. Because if I don't, I'll have a hangover, and why would you want to waste a day having a hangover? Why would you want to deal with that? Just make sure anyone in your 20s, even before 20s, or basically in your 20s, make sure you watch the people in your surroundings that your friend's best friend they're close to. Because I even had best friends that screwed me over, and all you can do is keep moving on from it, but learn your lessons and know who you're close to so they don't screw you over. That's why I'm glad I don't even care who I even hang out with anymore, friends-wise. I hang out with cousins here and there by making friends, depending on who it is. All I care about is getting the music going on my end, and if friends come along the way, if it climbs, awesome. But I'm not that worried about it. All I'm caring about is myself, my family, and my music, and grind with the music and climb from there. So all I'm getting at is try to do anything possible. Don't really worry about friends socializing that wise, depending on the money, just my opinion. I hope this helps. Like I said, watch your group, any of your groups that you're surrounding yourself with, because I can screw over the most, believe it or not. If anything, I hope this helps. I hope you all have a blessed day.